Hello everyone. So today we will discuss about a new topic which is OOPS. Not only OOPS actually. So here we will discuss about a menu driven OOPS, right? So we will do menu driven list, menu driven um, dictionary. So now we will do the menu driven OOPS. So in this part, what we can see? So there are four paths. Like one is class user. We will talk about this. We will talk about later. So first is class user, then a list, and third is a function which is main function, and fourth is the main or ultimate function where we call the function. So this is the main part we all know. So now we will see that from that main part of this program. Let's open this. So in this main part, we can see that there is a call of a main function, which is this function. So now we will see that what does this do? Means what is inside in this main function. Let's see. Let's open this. Okay. So here we can see that here is a while loop, right? So here is a while loop. Okay, so let's run the code and we will see that where is the code gives us, code's output gives us, and what is in this portion we can do these types of things. Let's run the code. Okay, so let's see. Here it gives add user, show all users and exit, which is I have written here. Like in this print portion. Then we create a menu driven program. So we create user menu list and then we print one add user, then show users, and last is exit. So we will talk about first the add new users. So before the add new users, we'll write this choice. So why this choice? We'll talk it gradually. So first, this choice equal to 1. So if we do the choice equal to 1, so what can happen? Let's see what will happen here. So this choice equal to 1, first we input something. Let's talk about the first. Means first the add user part. Let's open this. Okay. So here we can see a class. A class is content of three things, which is constructor, second is properties, and third is method. So now we will know that what is constructor, what is properties, and what is method actually. So here you can see that I define a function which is def and a init, like init types of thing. So what is init? So this is not only init, this is underscore init, and then we have to write underscore. So this is called constructor here. But here we can see that these are parameters also, right? Like name, age, email, and what is this self? We will talk about this. So here we can see that constructor which is init, but we here we pass some parameter like name, age, and email. So here we can see that this is a parameterized constructor because it's a parameter, so we can call it that this init is a parameterized constructor. I think this is clear to you. Now we will talk about this self part. What is the self part? Okay, so we will talk about before self part we will talk about properties and method, then we will come to here. So what is the properties? This portion is the properties in class. Okay, so self.name, self.age equal to age, and self.email equal to email. These are the properties here. Now, we will talk about the methods. What's the method? You may think that this is the function, right? Because we know how this function is going on. So, you obviously think this is the function, but no. In OOPS, in class actually, when I use class and when I use some function in this class, in the particular class, we call this method. We don't call this function. We call this method. So what did I say? That when we use function, we can use multiple function or we can use one function. It's up to us. And so when we use function in the class, then we call this function as a method, right? But this is not method. Why this is not method? Because this is outside of the class. You can see that this is here the class and this function, this is the outside of class. If this is inside the class, then I will put it here, right? See the indentation? So this is the outside of the class. So we can say that this is the function, but these are not function. This is method. Okay, I hope this is clear. So now we will talk about the cell portion. So why cell portion is important? You can say that here is no cell portion. So when we use the class and use the methods, we have to declare the self. If you don't want to declare the self, so we have to write these things in locally. Means in just these things can access is this method only. But when we write cell method, these all things can happen in here. Means we can access these things everywhere in this program. But if we didn't write self and declare the variables here locally, then it's declare when we declare the variable locally, it's accessible for that particular method. We can't accessible or we can't access these things or this variable or this anything, these properties in everywhere, right? I think this is clear. Now came to the code. So here it what is it one that enter your choice. Okay, I will enter one, but suppose anybody enters two, then what will happen? Let's see the code. So in this code, here I write that if not user means here enter one, I didn't press enter one, I press enter two. Let's see what will happen. Yes, no user available means I didn't put any data, right? I didn't put name, I didn't put age and email also. So it prints that no users available because there are no users. This is clear. So this is no user available. Now we will talk about the portion. So I suppose enter 1. So what did it does? It wants the name. Okay. So here we input the name, we take input the age, and we also take input the email. And now you can see that here we create a object. Create an object which is user. You can say that this is uppercase, this is lowercase. What is happening here? Because in class, when we take a class name, we should always follow this the username, the user first letter in uppercase. We should always follow this decorum. Okay. So here we can see that we created an object which is user and which is of type of user, means this is a class user, and then we initialized with these parameters in this user class. Okay, I think this is clear. And now we want to append these things. And now, what is this? You may think this is the list name, which is users. I came to know, I will talk about this. This why I take these users, because we take here user as a input or as an object actually. So we can write here that there are many objects like object 1, user 2, or user 3. Those user 1, user 2, and user 3, and you can write user 4 and such upon, you can write up to 10, up to 100 actually. It is up to you. So however the choices are get and however the users are take here, where did it store? This is storing the list in this list, in the users list. So list name is users. So we know that, so we know that when we want to insert something in this list or in a list, and in a, actually to be proper, in a last of the list, then we use that append method, dot append method, right? We all know. So here I write that users dot append, and in the parenthesis, this is user, this user, means this is the object, because we want to store the object, right, in this list. So we have to pass this. So this is the object. Now come to here, enter the name. So I think this is clear, that choice 1. So if we enter the choice 1, then it wants these things and it will works with this. So let's give the choice 1. Suppose I take a name Rahul. Rahul. Okay. Then enter the age. Suppose it is 24 and enter the email. So Rahul at the rate email.com. Okay. Now we suppose enter. Press enter. What can we see? What do you think? What will print here? Okay, let's see. Enter. So here print user added successfully. So this is the line. User added successfully is printed. Okay. Now it's want another choice. Okay, so let's take another choice. Choice 1. Enter a name. Enter Ria, which is suppose 16, and mail. Ria at the rate gmail.com. Okay. Then enter, and it wants same thing, because this is a while loop. That's why it's come repeatedly. Now we'll talk about the choice 2. Okay. Okay, let's close this also. We'll talk about the choice 2 here. So here we can see we used a if else function here. So first, if not users, then print, which we see that here this work, that if we didn't do anything, so is print not user or no user available. Now we come in the main part. So here we did a for loop in this else part. So for loop, we take a for and then index and user. We come to here obviously. And so first we take a for and index user in enumerate. So we will take a enumerate function here. And in this parenthesis, we pass users and start 1. Okay. Now talk about this. What is this? You may think, what is this? So this enumerate function, in this enumerate function, actually how it enumerates function works. So this enumerate function is show the value of index and user together. This is the enumerate function works. So when I use the enumerate function, this shows the value or this return the value of index and user together. And why I wrote this user and start 1? So first we passes the users, which is the list name, which is users, because we want to see the list name, right? We want to see the list. So uh, we pass the users, and why we start the user start equal to 1. Why we take this? So if we take this start equal to 0, then it will print nothing. It will print 0 because there are no things, right? So if you write start equal to 1, it shows the, we'll see after some time that it shows the, okay, now see first. This enter the choice 2. Let's see here. I was just talking about these things. So if I write start equal to 1, this user 1 is printed, then user 2 is printed here. And now we print the, here we used a format string, and then we take the user, which is the class name user, because this is the uppercase U. So we need to write here the class name user and with the following of index, right? And then we have to show the user, which is this method, this show method. We did this. Why we did this? Because we want this, that we want to show this, we want to print this. That's why we did this. So here we did the, we call the show user method. So not function. I will talk. I just talk about this. This is not function. This is method. So we call the show user method. Now this is elif and this is if equal to choice C. This is existing program. We'll see it obviously. So in choice equal to 2, means since choice 2, it is clear, I think, that user, we take two users 1 and user 2, and this print these things. And where did this store? This is stored in the list part. So this user 1 and user 2 is stored in the list part. So you take about many users. You take 10, 100,000. You take about, it's up to you. So these all users will store in this particular users list. Okay. Now we talk about choice 3. Let's press 3 and enter. Let's see. This gives an existing program, which I write here. This is existing program and then break, so the program is terminated. If we don't use break, it gives the user menu again because the loop is running, but we take a break, so the total program is end here. I hope this is clear to you. This all program is clear to you. This is a very easy program and very important program. Okay, so next day we will talk about another topic. Thank you so much. Bye for today and next day. We'll see which topic we will discuss. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.